Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on my channel where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to radically and rapidly healing and transforming, not just healing, transforming your life during and after narcissistic abuse. Now, today I want to talk about a very important topic, which is what's going on energetically when the narcissist hoovers. I think we all know probably if we're here what a hoover is. Just in case you don't, there's nothing wrong with you if you don't. It's when they circle back, circle back to try and re-engage and put you through the same terrible ordeal all over again. The problem energetically is a number of things. One is you'll often start feeling them psychically. I am teaching you they are psychic vampires. They work so much more in the psychic and energetic realms than you know. Now, we're all connected energetically, but the narcissist works with no consent, no respect for people's free will. So they're invading you energetically. Sometimes you'll start thinking thoughts that are being projected on you. The whole love bomb is an illusion. It's the projection of your ideal mate or parent or friend on you. When they're ready to hoover, you will start having memories and thoughts of them so often. And a lot of those thoughts won't be about how terribly they treated you. They'll be in relation to the love bombing version of them, the illusion they projected. That's how you know what's going on, yeah? All of us know we've got this ability. You know, how often have you thought of a friend or someone's popped into your mind and suddenly they called you? We are connected energetically. The way you found me, if you're here, would have been much more than about YouTube, much more about us being connected, you asking the universe for someone to help you, and I'm a good person or a good match for you because you wanted something fresh, something different, something that spoke to your soul differently, something that put you in your power differently. They're the people who are interested in me. Yeah, how would I even start a channel with so many people on YouTube? I'm not even good at videos. You know, you'll notice, I'm sorry, but like I don't know how to edit them. I don't know how to put fancy titles on them yet. Excuse me on that. But like, there's an energy pool. Your soul asks for something. So we are constantly putting out energy in the universe. Energy means using our consciousness, our desires, our hearts, everything to attract to us, which is why I can also teach you how to be an extraordinary manifester of your life, especially when you've cleared up trauma. So the narcissist is now pulling at you in the energy field. You know this because in the narcissistic abuse relationship, you will have felt things that don't make sense. You're under a spell and they're working on you energetically and spiritually. So that's why you've got to go no consent. I've got tools on this channel. You push the energy away, you break the psychic ties, you choose much more than if you go around saging your room, because that's just clearing your room out, right? I actually this is an aside. It's quite funny though. I actually once was with my ex-narcissist and I was Palo Santasing, cleaning out the energy in where we were living. And he said to me, oh gosh, what does that do? And I said, it clears out negative energy. And he said, I mean, they always say things, you know, they tell you who they are. He said, oh, it's not going to make me disappear, is it? Wish it had. It would have caused a lot less heartache if he had gone at that. Don't mean anything bad on him, but it would have been nice just to, if he had exited at that point, rather than put me through 10 more rounds of assault, really. It's an aggressive cycle, the narcissistic abuse cycle, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and energetically, right? So you've got to know, like I teach you everything, biologically, the trauma reaction is to feel a very strong enmeshment and entanglement and love for the person who gives you relief, even if that person is abusing you, because you're in such a bad state anyway. Like any relief gives you an over high from it. Then you've got the energetic and emotional enmeshment going on, that they're literally pulling at your energy. So understand it's not real. Yeah, because you'll feel like you're healed and all of a sudden it will come back in. And here's how it tends to go. They might hoover you and you might get back together and they will present everything you wanted to hear. Another illusion, which they're masters of illusion. Just know if they're speaking, they're probably lying. So like your job with a narcissist, not with a normal human being, but with a narcissist, is to, whatever normal is, right, is to assume that they're not telling the truth or they're telling half truth. If you know it's a narcissist. Now, they implant the subconscious brain, your subconscious brain, to be constantly living in two questions once you start waking up. Is this a narcissist and could this person change? Because we want to bring back the illusion, the love bombing illusion, the person that they project to be when they're love bombing, after the abuse cycle has run its way through devaluing, through discarding, then they'll love bomb it back and play that projection back, that they'll say the exact words you need to hear, they'll touch you in the exact right way if that's what your connection is, whatever it is. So they could put you through another cycle. In my experience now working with a lot of people and what I went through, it gets worse every time. We think, oh, I can take it. Yeah, my pain threshold is strong now. They're predictable. I know what they'll do. The whole relationship relies on them shocking you, yeah? Which means putting you on steady ground and then doing something that blows your mind. It relies on that because that's how you get trauma bonded. So they're always going to go one way, which is worse. Two, sometimes they are vindictive. My ex was malignant, so vindictive, but I did not see any of that until I closed the door. And my goodness, did I not know who I was dealing with in terms of how spiteful, vicious, and quite frankly, evil and arrogant that person was. I saw bits of it, but never at that extent. It wasn't predictable, actually, and because he'd hidden that, who he really was. Yeah, they try and make you into what they need you to be because their whole life is a strategy of being what they think you need them to be. So sometimes they're angry. They're very angry when you walk away from them. They're very angry when you try and take your power back. They're very angry when you try and end the way they want you to behave. You're their object, you're their toy. It's a game of cat and mouse hoovering. So sometimes they don't get over how mad and enraged they are that you would even have your own life or think you deserved it. So sometimes they'll hoover you just to slam dunk you. Sometimes this is triggering, what I'm about to say. Trigger warning. But sometimes, I'm going to talk for 1 second, you can pause, you can fast forward this to things. It's nothing horrific, well, it's something that happens with people. There are many clients I've had when the narcissist has come back, purposely given them an STD, purposely infected them with something, purposely come back to punish them and keep them tied and bound. The cycle never ends. Their agenda never ends. What they'll do will always have no limits, no boundaries. And the person you think you know is not the person you know. Even the parts that you've seen consistently. Like I say, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they're never telling the truth. If they take anything, then they use bits of truth because that makes it convincing. But you'll never know the depth of their distortion. I will never know with my ex how bad his sex addictions were, how terrible his betrayals were, how awful his backstabbing of me was fully. I know a lot of it, but you know what I mean? And I don't want to know. All that's going to do is disturb your soul. But what you do need to know, if you're living in the questions of, is this a narcissist, will this person change? That's part of the disease of being enmeshed with a narcissist. Right? When you've got to that point, chances are you are. If you're here, chances are you are. Two, that this fantasy that we're now projecting and this joint fantasy of this person is on the up, will change, won't do the same awful things to me. You've got to understand that they are capable of things that you cannot imagine and that you'll never get the truth on. They do not live in the truth. They live in confusion. The realm of the devil is temptation and confusion. You'll always be confused with them. They purposely confuse you. They've got to keep you confused as to who they really are, how bad they are, because otherwise you wouldn't engage. Your confusion is how they keep siphoning your energy and keep their way in. They never want to fully shut the door because they like paving their way around the world with as much supply, as many people they can tap into for whatever they might need in terms of resources when it suits them. And they'll keep an eye on you because, again, when you heal, when you transform, if you stay here, I'm going to help you build your most abundant life. Oh gosh, you're going to be juicy. You need to be narcissist resilient because you're going to make more money if you want money. You're going to go into a job you love or work you love. You're going to enjoy your life on this planet. You need very little to be happy in this world. That's what I learned from losing everything. You need very little, right? So everything else is abundance. Everything else is just adding. And if you can align with doing things you enjoy in your life that are actually self-expressed, then it's a wonderful life that you just get to add to. Add to, not sit there feeling without. Your life should not be, doesn't have to be defined by what happened to you. But there are things you need to know, and there are healing and growth things that I'm going to talk about that you can use, right, to start transforming your life. All you've got to do is become an energetic match in the universe to what you want, and what you want is going to be your fulfillment. Success, in my definition, is fulfillment. That's success. I've met many people that have had money, then hadn't been happy. They felt the same as they had before the money. Money can just add to your life in a beautiful way, but you've got to learn fulfillment first. I've met many people who said, if I just had the relationship, but they didn't change in the relationship. They hadn't learned fulfillment first. If you can learn what I teach you, come into authentic power, sovereignty, you'll live a fulfilled life, and then you can add money, you can add relationship, you can add intimacy, you can add friends, you can add, and it will all feel even better and even better and even better. But if you don't learn fulfillment first, it will just feel like another thing that will give you a temporary hit, and you'll wonder. I've worked with celebrities out here where, you know, I know why some of them go on to addictions and stuff. It's because when you got everything they ever wanted and felt the same, it can be a very dark place, because it's like, well, what's going to make me happy? Only you, in alignment with your soul. Which means like your soul knows your purpose on the planet, it doesn't have to be a big, great thing or what you consider great. It's what is aligned to you. It might be painting all day or gardening or, you know, just having a beautiful community around you or anything that makes your life rich. Rich doesn't come from money necessarily. Well, money makes you rich, but it just gives you more opportunities to do more if that's what you want. But none of those things are going to bypass when you're healed and sovereign. Please come into Sovereign for May. This is such a powerful round. My goodness me. Come into Sovereign, change your life, get energetically strong, so that you are so devoted and sovereign in yourself that no one gets to take you away from yourself again. You know your boundaries, you know your standards, you know your values, and you start manifesting your most beautiful life. Link will be in the description. Lots of love, guys. I'll speak to you soon.